you ever too old to find love? Do you feel as if time's running out? Am I just describing my own life here? I'm going to start crying any minute and there's no chance of finding the one. Or maybe you did manage to get swept off your feet later on in life. I'd love to hear from you about this. The number's 0207 862 2222. Do give us a ring, but only if you're living happily ever after, because stop frightening me. Or I'd love your much needed tips in my quest to find love. Now, someone else who might just have a few tips and tricks to share is the dating expert and love guru, Lara Asprey, who's joining us now. Really nice to see you.
Nice to see you, and thanks for having me,
Do
Vanessa.
you think that as we get a little more mature and vintage, A, we might start to panic a bit, but
vintage.
B, we might sort of somehow have lost the knack and just play it wrongly on dates? What's going on?
I think it gets a bit harder for several reasons. Firstly, I think that as we get older, we get a bit more stuck in our ways because we've been through many dates already. We've been through many
more
relationships.
what you don't want than what you do want.
But that's almost a problem because in a way, you've kind of filtered out, I don't want that, and I don't want that, and I don't want that. And by the end of your list of I don't wants, you've got a very small amount of things that you will accept.
Right.
So actually, you're looking at a very small option pool.
Yeah.
So I think people do have to kind of get out of themselves a little bit more as they get older, because when you're younger and you don't know any different, you think, well, everything's great. Let's try it all. But by the time you get a bit older, you're seasoned. You don't want to be messing around with anything and wasting your time. We don't want to waste our time. Nobody wants to waste
I'd rather be
time.
at home with Jackson and have a lovely night than go on a disastrous day.
And you know what it's like as women? We have to get our hair done, we have to get our makeup done. It's a big effort to get the babysitter, to get everything organised for a date. We don't just want to go out and, you know, guys can just turn up to these things.
You've put a lot of effort in, haven't you?
Me, I've tried.
You have?
I have tried.
Great at the moment.
I'm very trying. Many people would say I'm very, very trying. Before we get into this, let's just hear, because Claire really does have a happy story. It's wonderful.
It's
about
lovely.
your grandma.
So my grandma was a widow in her 40s. She used to go on holiday every year with her sisters Nellie and Betty. She's 86 years of age. She's gone to Bournemouth on a coach. Comes back, she's got a fella.
Oh,
He was a toy boy. He was 74.
You see, this is it, though. It can happen at any age.
Do you know what they got married?
What do you think it was that, I mean, what happened? What
Well,
did she like about him?
I said to her, you know, she announced she was getting married and all the family were a bit like, 86 marrying a 74-year-old.
Yeah.
Marvellous. I said, what is it? You know, what do you like about him? And she said, well, he's got his own dancing shoes and he makes me laugh.
Well, that's not bad, is it?
Her life was so simple. She got married on her 100th birthday.
Oh,
she stood
my
up
gosh.
and said, this man has kept me alive with love and laughter.
You see.
101, she passed away, and he passed away 6 months later.
Wow.
They laughed.
But that's just
every
proof,
day.
though, that actually there really isn't an age limit when it comes to love. If you're open-minded to it and you're doing things that you love, which
I
she
love
was.
that story, but I will say from my own experience, gentlemen of a certain age, because I thought I might try age appropriate this time around, having had the dalliance with a younger fellow that really ended catastrophically. So I thought, right, someone right sort of age, right sort of background, all that kind of thing. But they can be these gentlemen. I mean, anyone can correct me if they think I'm generalising, but a bit sort of crusty and a bit kind of grumpy.
Wurzel gummagey kind of thing.
Wait a minute.
But
Are you hard to please?
I don't think I am. I think that they are just, their life has been hard and long. They've had a rough time and they're a bit grumpy. So they're not playful.
Yeah.
They're not flirtatious. They're not sort of saucy. They're not sexy. They're just cross. And then you think, well, I can't flirt with you.
It's
They're just
very
like,
difficult. No,
you know, they can't find a parking space. They're annoyed. You know, they got the wrong way and they got stuck in traffic. They're annoyed. And you think, well, blimey, don't be annoyed on a date.
They've let life get the better of them.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I think when you go on characters like that, who have just let life win.
Can I just say, we went out for dinner, didn't we, just after your breakup?
Yeah.
And she's sitting there offloading, telling me all these disastrous dates. Well, I was not a good friend. I was crying, laughing. And I was like, Vanessa, you need to write this down. It's like Bridget Jones. It was so funny.
It's not that funny.
I mean, I
When
love
you're
how
on the
friends
date, it's not
find
funny.
it hilarious, though, when our friends are going through this in a way which we shouldn't, don't we?
Okay, I want to say one other thing, though. People think that as you get older, what you want is companionship. And, you know, okay, sure you do, yes.
Yeah.
But you still need to fancy the person.
You do.
Doesn't matter how, like your
You're not
grandma, she
dead.
obviously fancied him. She said it was the dancing shoes and
Okay,
the
let me ask the
laughter.
question. Do you not think, as you get older, it's slightly different? You know, it was very aesthetic when you're younger, isn't it?
It's all about the looks.
And now someone makes me laugh. They're kind. They're a good pet. They're a good father. You know, I really appreciate different qualities now as I've got older.
I would like to say yes, but
Are you still fickle?
It is all about the values.
you've still got to fancy them.
But it's all about the values, though. That's the thing that you're getting
That's what
at.
I think.
I think
The
there's
values?
a combination of the thing you're talking about, which is got to fancy them. I've
Yeah.
got to find you attractive. There's no point otherwise. But combining that with we both want to make this work as a family unit. We've both got kids that we want to work this, whether they're our kids or shared kids, but there's a family unit. However it works, it's got to work on multiple levels. That's the thing. It's got to combine.
So what would you think? What type of partner would you think be compatible, Vanessa?
I would go, because she's so full of energy and so vibrant. We were saying before, we should do a matchmaking, Vanessa, because I think the viewers watching would love to date you. I'm sure they would.
Oh, do me a favour.
tried
Give
it,
them a
didn't you?
break.
You tried it on Celebs Go Dating.
It was hell.
Well, okay,
Don't say that. Don't say the viewers would love to date. Please don't. That's absolutely desperate. Ignore that. Erase that. Edit that. Oh, forgot it's live. We can't edit anyone. I'm saying that. Don't take any notice of that. Right. Let's go to Suzanne in Surrey, who's on the line. Hi, Suzanne. How's it going for you? I hope it's better than it's going for me. Is it?
I've got to say, I'm going to book a trip to Bournemouth.
Do you know? I'll go on the coach with you. We'll go on the trip to Bournemouth like your grandma did. Yeah. Tell me how it's going though. What's it like dating for you, Suzanne?
Okay, I think it's really impossible. I mean, I'm a 57-year-old woman. I don't look it. I don't act it. However, I join dating sites. Everybody on there looks, well, older than my dad. And I'm just finding it disastrous. I now take myself out on dates and I will go and sit in a pub by myself and then I just get stared at by other women or just people in general who think I'm weird.
Tell me what you're looking for, because, you know, Lara says you don't want to rule everything out. You don't want to be too dismissive. Do you think you're being too demanding, too exacting, or you're just looking for someone nice?
I'm just looking for somebody nice who hasn't... I mean, obviously, when we get to this kind of age, a lot of us have baggage, we have children and all sorts of different things going on. And also, if you've been hurt, I mean, my ex-fiancé of 10 years cheated on me during lockdown and then consequently married the woman that he was cheating on me with.
Ouch.
So, you know, I think I'm a very vulnerable person and I worry that perhaps sometimes that comes across. But literally, when I've been on dates, I leave feeling very despondent.
Yes, I agree. So do I. Agreed.
Yeah, it's really hard. And I had a date actually last week with a gentleman that I met purely by accident when I was actually out on another date, which was a disaster.
Very versatile, multitasking.
Honestly,
Love
it
that.
was
Love that.
bizarre.
And how was that?
Well, in short, we went to a place not far from me. We sat down and he said to me, "Goodness me, I didn't realise you had such glorious legs."
Right.
And I looked at him and I said, "Well, thank you very much." And with that, he started caressing my leg. And I felt awful. And I just asked him to stop. And then he said to me, "Oh, actually, can we hook up in a week's time? Perhaps we can stay here." And that was it for me. I got up and left.
Oh, no, thank you. Ghastly. I mean, that's the right thing to do, get up and leave, isn't it?
I think there's certain things that just give you the ick, that give you the massive turn off, that you just think, oh no. But I think he probably meant it from a place of trying to be complimentary and it just backfired.
Well, don't touch someone's legs if they haven't.
Don't.
I mean,
no,
Claire?
there's certain
Well,
personal
the minute he
space.
mentions the word hook up, you know.
Yeah, hook
let's
up.
Hook, you know,
That's not what you're looking for.
No.
Suzanne, I wish you much better luck in the future, and certainly you're doing your best. You're sticking at it. Let's talk to Veronica in Bristol, who I think has a lovely story to tell. Hi, Veronica.
Hello. It is a lovely story. So I first met my husband when I was a teenager, and we all were in a big circle of friends. I got married, my husband got married, and we all came on as a lovely circle of friends. And in 2004, my husband died, so I was a widow for 15 years. And then my husband and his wife, who was my best friend as it came, she died in 2017. And I came over to their house to help Bobby sort out all the clothes and jewellery and everything. And we used to go to the pictures every now and then. And when it came up to his birthday in 2018, as a birthday present, I paid for us to have 4 days on the Queen Mary.
We're going to have to get to the bit where you fell in love, because otherwise we're going to run out and have to cut you off in your prime. You fell in love after all of that. You got married, and how is it?
Well, it's brilliant.
Oh,
This little bit is lovely, because on the Queen Mary on that 4 days, he went off, bought a beautiful ring, proposed to me. I said yes. So we booked a cruise. We went to New York in the November, cruised back on the Queen Mary 2, and all within from May to
Veronica, I have to stop you, but what a great story to end the show. Thank you so much. My grateful thanks to my darling friend Claire Sweeney. Lara Asprey, you did a brilliant job, and thank you for all your calls. They're phenomenal. Jerome will be back at 9:15 in the morning. I'll see you same time, same place.